Oops. Well, that's not good. You don't want to do that. You don't want to get the punch stuck in there. Well, howdy folks, and welcome back to the channel. We are in the shop again today. This is going to be a short one because honestly we're still in the middle of harvest season, and so my time is pretty limited running 12-hour shifts. So any rate, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit more work on the front suspension assembly that we're going to be putting on Chuck's Jeep. What we're going to do today, we're going to go ahead and get the front, the front spindles taken apart today. And we're also going to try to get the tie rod ends, the whole assembly here, removed, because we've got boots that are tore up pretty bad. And you can see when they get tore up like this, they get you can get a lot of dirt and grease and grit, inside there. So we got to get those things apart so that we can go ahead and remove the boot, measure it, and try to find some suitable replacements. And we also got to, there we go, clean the lens on it. So we got to pull this stuff apart so we can measure these boots and find suitable replacements for them. The same thing goes with, these boots are missing here. So we're going to try to get this stuff all taken apart today. It should not take too long. I know I've shown you guys in other videos repacking the front wheel bearings. And so, we're not going to show you guys repacking the bearings and putting all the new seals on, because we've done that just recently. So, if you want to see what it takes to do that, you can go back through some of my older videos in the maintenance collection. So at any rate, let's get started on it. All right, the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and get this little clevis mounting piece off. There is no tool for removing this nut. So what you're going to want to do is get yourself a chisel or a punch that's not sharp. You do not want a sharp edge on it. You just put it right there and just give it a couple of good whacks, and should come loose. And this, like I said, this one's been out in the desert for a long time, so I'm not sure how long it's been together like this. Yeah, this one's tight. This one's not going to want to come loose real easily. So oops. Well, that's not good. You don't want to do that. You don't want to get the punch stuck in there. There we go. Eventually it will come loose. You may want to go ahead and, if you're doing this with it still on the vehicle, get this thing knocked loose before you pull the wheel off. All right. All right, so the next thing we got to get out of here is we've got to get the cotter pin out of the nut here. And so, let's see if I can do this one-handed. You want to take yourself a pair of needle nose pliers, something that you can easily get into all of this mess with, and get the cotter pin brought out so that you can get a hold of it from this end here. Don't worry about destroying the cotter pin. You're not going to reuse this. Of course, this is making it difficult trying to do this and hold the camera. Once you get it loose, and it sometimes helps to go ahead and just get in there with a pair of diagonal cutters and just pull it out, and it'll be fine. Now we'll go ahead and get a socket and get that nut busted loose. Alright, we found the socket that we need. This is going to be an 1¼ inch socket. I'll go ahead and set this up so you guys can see. It should not take a whole lot of force to get that nut busted loose. You may have to hold the see, you may have to hold the yoke on the other side here. And you just go ahead and pull this nut off. And the hub flange will come right off. And you're going to want to inspect everything. As you can see, the grease in here is still really clean. And this one has had the speedy sleeve installed on it. This, I'll bet you this front end was serviced not too long before this thing was sent to Dermo. You know, sent to wherever it was surplused out from. So we're going to go ahead, set this aside, set your hardware with it, and then we're going to pull the drive piece out. It's got a little bit of rust in there, so we're going to want to go clean this up. But well, you can take a look, and that does not look bad at all. I'll bet you this thing didn't have more than a few hundred miles on it since the last time it was serviced. But the thing that we want to really look at here, and we want to clean these bearings out, is we want to take a look at these bearings and see what kind of shape they're in. And they still look really good. They're not dull. They're not pitted. We are going to have to go ahead and replace the seals, because the seals, you know, these things have been sitting for a long time. So we will be finding some seals to replace the seals. But I want to go ahead and get both sides taken apart, and then we'll go ahead and knock the tie rods off. All right, we've got the one side apart. We'll pull the other side apart. I don't need to show you guys that. But we're going to go ahead and try to get these tie rod ends off. So you're going to want to go ahead and, like I said, normally, while this is on your vehicle, you know, this is upside down. So normally, when it's on your vehicle, these nuts are going to be facing up. But you're going to want to get usually diagonal cutters usually work pretty good for this. And get a bigger pair of them. You don't want to put too much force on it. You don't want to cut them. But you want it to bite in so you can pull that cotter pin out. Hang on to the old one so that you can make sure that your new ones, you know, are close. And I think this is a... There's that. Go ahead and get this one pulled apart on this side. Like I said, you know, not knowing how long this stuff had set out, we may have some issues getting this stuff pulled apart. Alright, now that we've got that loose, a lot of people, and I have to admit I've done it this way before a time or two as well, you know, where you put the nut back on it part way and then beat on it there. Don't do it that way. You'll screw up the threads, especially if you're going to reuse these tie rod ends. Just smack the arm and it should come right out. Just like that. And then you'll end up needing to do the same thing with these short ends here. But this will get it apart far enough for us to go ahead and make sure we measure the boots, so we can go ahead and get some replacement boots to replace these cracked ones here. So we'll be able to get that figured out, and I think these ones are pretty much the same. Yeah, it's pretty much the same boot, I think, for these. So there we go on that. We've got that apart. We're going to go ahead and pull the other side apart. And then I think, honestly, as much as I hate to do it to you guys, I think that's going to be about it for this one here. We'll go ahead and get the other side apart and inspected. We'll show you that. And then we'll probably end up calling this one good. That second one, the nut was a little bit harder to get off of the deal there, the spindle. So, but this one also looks the same. It's got really clean grease in it. Everything looks really pretty good on it. So it looks like it has had a stud replaced at one point in time. That's no big deal. But yeah, this side here has had the speedy sleeves installed on it as well. We'll get all this cleaned up when we go to put it back together. What I want to look at is the bearings and see what kind of shape they're in. And these ones look pretty good as well. Now we can't tell what the inner bearing looks like until we go ahead and remove it, which I'm not going to bother right now. Check that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and pop the seal out from the inner side and pull the inner bearings out on both sides and inspect those. Okay, well, we'll see if we can get this one-handed. The way I normally pull these inner seals out, because we're going to have to replace them anyway, is get in there with a pry bar and just pop them out. And this is why it's always a good idea to try to do this two-handed so you don't end up dropping the bearing on the ground, but I don't think it hurt it. Oh, well, let's get in there and take a look at these inner bearings. Okay, these inner bearings are starting to get a little dark right around in there, so these inner bearings are gonna have to be replaced, which means that we're gonna have to go out into the special little parts bin and see what we've got. If not, then we'll go ahead and we'll have to order some. So if you want to see how to knock the bearings out, we will go ahead and be replacing all of that stuff in the next installation of this this video project here. So at any rate, I know this is a short one today, but that's all I have time for. I have to go ahead and start getting ready to go to work at 2 o'clock in the morning, and it is about I think about 4:30 here, so I usually have to go to bed about 6 o'clock to get up. I get up at 1:15 so I can be to work by 2. So at any rate, hope you guys found this informative. I know unfortunately this was kind of a short video, but at any rate, we'll come back. We'll be back on this project again soon. So I appreciate everybody for watching. I really do. Remember, please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.